Hello there, my name is Bob Orchard, coming to you from Old Town Mariposa in our 3MC studio here in the historic Mariposa Hotel, the heart of Old Town, downtown Mariposa. And our show is being brought to you by Bet's Gold Coin, family-friendly sports tavern downtown Old Town Mariposa, where you can dine under the Clipper ships. And I have with me today the daughter of a very good friend, Julie Hebern. How you doing, Julie?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Not bad for a real old guy.
Oh, not that
Julie,
old.
well, you don't know.
I don't know.
So Julie is here today because we've been having kind of fun with the traditions of Mariposa. You know a little bit about the history of this town, and we have some. I think the word is kick butt women who have really established themselves in the business community and leadership roles throughout the county, throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
And you are out there on the edge. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, when you came to Mariposa, where you went to school, and what you're doing now.
All right. I've been here since I was 2. Grew up in this little town. Love this little town. It's amazing. Tiny and homely. And I went to Mariposa High School.
Mariposa.
Now I'm at Cal-Poly Pomona. I'm going into aerospace engineering.
Aerospace engineering.
That's right.
Are you going to be a rocket scientist?
Well, I'm going to be an air scientist.
An air scientist. Okay.
Airplane scientist.
Cal-Poly Pomona. How in the heck did you get involved with aeronautics?
Well, it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that.
What attracted you to this field?
Well, when I was really little, I went on a plane, and the pilot asked me if I wanted to see the cockpit.
Really little? How little?
Really little. I was like 6 or 7. That's pretty little.
Uh-huh.
And so...
Did he let you fly it?
He didn't, I wish. I don't know if he would have been able to, really, because it was a commercial plane with a lot of people on it, so it probably wouldn't have ended very well as a 6-year-old flying an airplane.
Well, at any rate, so you were 6 or 7, you went on a ride, went into the cockpit, and you were fascinated with all the gadgets?
There were so many buttons on the roof, on the, like, in front of you, on the sides, everywhere. So many buttons, and I wanted to know what they all did.
Uh-huh.
So the pilot also asked me if I wanted to sit in the pilot's chair. I was way too scared. Totally regret that. Should have done it. But it got me interested. I wanted to know how it worked, how all these buttons made this gigantic plane fly.
So here you are, a young lady in Mariposa with Yosemite at your back door, fascinated by airplanes. You went out to the airport, and of course, I would suspect, and your dad encouraged this exploration?
Oh yeah, full-heartedly. You know, both my parents were very supportive. You know, do whatever you want to do.
You know, I know both your parents. I work with your dad, and I know that he's helped me explore some new fields too, so I understand a little bit about how you can accomplish some of the things. So you're going to Cal-Poly Pomona. You're in your senior year?
4th year of 5, because nobody graduates in 4 years anymore. Yeah. Average graduation rate for my department is 5.2 years.
5.2
Yeah.
years. And that's in engineering?
In aerospace engineering, specifically. I'm not totally sure about the other departments.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Cal-Poly Pomona. That's
Wow.
kind of a special school.
It's a sister school of Cal-Poly San Luis Obispo, the more well-known Cal-Poly down here, or up here. But, so Cal-Poly Pomona is really known for agriculture, engineering, and then hospitality.
Hospitality?
Yeah.
And you come from the hospitality capital of California, and you took up aeronautical
I
engineering.
did. I wanted to be different.
Well, congratulations. That's cool. You know, we've had, and I told you a little bit, we have some really deep roots in terms of women aspiring. We have most of the business leaders in this community are women. Did you know that?
I do now.
And we have a number of leaders in government and industry that are female. And so you're kind of striking out there in a great tradition. We had a guest over here the other day, a young woman who's starting an ice cream parlor. But maybe I'm going to ask you a question that may catch you a little off guard. But what do you think it is about Mariposa that makes young women feel like they can go out there and conquer the world?
The support.
Support.
The small community. The fact that everyone knows everyone else, and they're so encouraging when you want to do something larger in life.
Really? And that's not just your parents.
No, it's everyone. It's everyone.
So they get you to believe that you can actually go out there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're out there doing it, huh?
I am. I'm trying to.
So I hear you have some projects.
I do. I do
Could
have some
we talk
projects.
a little bit about them?
So there's 2 projects I've been working on and one that I'm just starting. I didn't quite tell you about that. But so the 2 that I'm working on right now, AUVSI is one of them. Autonomous Unmanned Vehicle Systems International.
Okay.
It's a competition done in Maryland every single year. And basically we take a plane and a UAV, an unmanned aerial vehicle, and we integrate it and make it autonomous, fully autonomous. So it will take off autonomously, it will land autonomously. It has a search pattern that is all autonomous, where it identifies certain targets.
There's nobody at the control. When you say autonomous,
I'm saying the plane does its own thing. We have someone sitting there to take over just in case, a safety pilot. But aside from that, the plane is doing everything on its own.
Computers running it.
Yep.
That's scary.
It's impressive.
Well, of course it is on the engineering side. Other?
SAE is another one I'm doing. It's a SAE Aero Design, and SAE is it's not the fraternity. It's the Society of Automotive Engineers. And so the Aero Design is a design, build, fly. So we make a design that's supposed to be the best possible plane that a student can make anyways. And then we build it, and then we have to fly it. And
These are model airplanes.
Model airplane.
They're pretty big though, right?
Ours is a 7-foot wingspan.
Okay.
It has to drop a payload.
Okay. And it's prop driven, jet?
It's actually a nitro engine. It's
Right.
prop. It's a prop plane. But instead of electric, it's a nitro. So basically gas engine, but a different kind of fuel.
Okay. I know a
Works the
little
same
bit
way.
about nitro.
Yeah. Well, not very many people do. I didn't before this project. So.
As a fuel additive, you know, that's, well, I won't get off on it, but that's automotive people do a lot of things with nitroclue.
Yeah.
At any rate, and you worked for Tavis.
2 summers.
2 summers.
2 summers.
Tavis is, you want to tell us a little bit about Tavis? You know, I don't think the world knows much about Tavis, but we actually, here in Mariposa,
Yeah.
we have stuff that were built here in Mariposa on the moon right now,
We
right?
have stuff on Mars too. Yeah.
On Mars as well. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
Tavis builds transducers?
Pressure transducers. So Tavis built a pressure transducer is basically a device that allows you to measure the pressure.
Right.
And whether it's the pressure of outside or the pressure in a fuel tank or even the pressure of a lake.
Hydraulics.
Yeah, anything. Anything that has fluid, air, liquid, anything that basically moves. And so they do specialized transducers. So they're more, by specialized I mean that they really, really specific, very small measurements. So for like the Mars rover, you know, JPL came to Tavis for that. JPL.
Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Yes, down in Pasadena.
Yes.
Came
Very
up,
famous place. You
It
been
is.
there?
I have not. I need to. I need to
Yes.
go. I drive past it all the time.
And of course, another question I'm going to ask you is, do you have a pilot license?
No, I want one.
So
It's on my
when,
bucket
when,
list.
when are you going to get a pilot license?
When I get a job.
Ah,
big-
so you're going to have to wait
big
until after
girl
you
job.
graduate?
I am.
You know, I could talk to your dad. Maybe not. Walt, by the way, you know Walt is engineering this show today, so we're getting ugly looks when I step over the line. At any rate, but we won't be writing any checks on Walt's account to send you to air flight school. But there's something that I got. I'm going to go back to this feminist thing again. Okay.
Okay.
Are you in the minority in an engineering program at Cal-Poly?
Most definitely.
Okay, so how many men are there, or were there? Is there a trend?
Definitely more men than women.
Like,
So my freshman year, my incoming year, there were 10 men to every 1 woman.
10 men to every 1 woman. Boy, that's quite a dating pool.
Yeah, you would think.
I won't go there.
No, it's not.
Has it changed any?
For the incoming freshmen, yes. For my class, no. For my class, it's actually gotten worse. So we have probably about 80 students still of the original 150 that came in.
Mm-hmm.
And of those 80 students, there are probably 5 or less, 4 maybe, 3 or 4 females in our 3 to 5
So
females.
you're working in a man's world, and that's going to be your future, isn't it?
Yeah, all the time.
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind. I
Don't
really
mind.
don't.
Is there a certain amount of stress to that? I mean, you know, I've been around boys my whole life, and sometimes when girls come into our world, we treat them a little differently.
Yeah, it happens. You have to prove yourself over and over again that you are one of the men, in a
Alright.
sense, but while
So
still being a girl.
Did you major up?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be careful about my actions, and I have to also be aware that, you know, there are still these stereotypes around women and what women should be doing. And I'm not within those stereotypes, but an initial look at me may be one of those stereotypes. But I think I've done a pretty good job about proving myself and showing the guys in my major that I am just as good as they are, if not slightly better than some of them anyways.
You were an athlete in high school, right?
For a couple years, so
Volleyball?
volleyball, yes.
And so, being a kick-butt young woman, you know how it all works.
Of course I do.
And I'm really proud of you. I really appreciate you. Do you have anything, and we're over time, and Walt is giving me the signal, but I have one question I have to ask.
Okay, what is
Okay? So for a young woman out there, right,
that? Uh-huh.
a freshman in high school, okay, that wants to believe that she could aspire for something bigger and better, what bit of advice would you have to offer her?
Take your science classes, take your math classes, do what you love, and don't be discouraged. And just go for it, because it can happen.
You know, I gotta tell you, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
You are really inspiring to me. You're doing something that I dearly love, aircraft and engineering, and so I wish I had your challenges, and I really appreciate you being on the show and sharing your story. And you know, from perspective, and I know, Walt, it's time to go, but you know, for young people out there in our town, it's important to know that we have some real kick-butt people, men and women, out there challenging the world at levels that are really out there. And our school system, our community has created an environment where people can go out and make things happen. And you're really an inspiration to me and to a lot of other people, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
And for you folks out there, this is the Old Town Mariposa Show, and thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time around.